see you.
Avatar: Fire and Ash is now streaming on Disney+. It's the film critics are calling the best Avatar yet.
Yeah! Go, 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 go!
A true epic and completely jaw-dropping.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
Return to Pandora on Disney+.
It will be an adventure for the whole family.
And watch the Oscar-winning phenomenon at home.
This is sick!
Avatar: Fire and Ash, now streaming on Disney+. Rated PG-13.
Whether you're picking and grinning or just grinning, grab a drink, pull up a seat. It's time for Roots Music Rambler. Turn it up. Hello there, Ramblers. It's just me this episode because we are doing another of our Backstage episodes where Frank or I are able to catch up with an artist in an environment that isn't as conducive to our normal, longer conversations. Most of the time, these episodes literally take place backstage. We'll catch 10 minutes with someone on our phone before or after a show, do a quick interview, and we'll try to churn those out as a quick backstage episode here in lieu of our virtual conversations that last a lot longer. This episode happens to be also virtual because I was able to schedule a quick chat recently with Shelby Lore. He's the man behind the Shelby Lore Band, which is based in Northeastern Kentucky in Carter County. That's a little bit more than halfway between Lexington, Kentucky and Huntington, West Virginia if you're traveling east, a little less than halfway if you're going west. I first saw Shelby live filling in on lead guitar for Jordan Lee King, a fellow Kentuckian, a while back. And he was so good and so impressive on guitar that I made my way around to the lobby backstage, wherever he was, to find him after the show. I found him, connected with him, had a conversation there. I soon discovered he wasn't only a fantastic guitar player, but a singer-songwriter on his own, and he has a killer blues rock country blend of a band. So got him on a virtual call here to do a little backstage episode, quick interview one day. Not too long ago, we chatted about his latest single, Memphis, his music that's in the works, playing live, supporting other artists while doing so. I think you're going to like Shelby a lot. Again, this is a short interview and one of our kind of, backstage episodes. So no picking the grinning or pre-interview banner. I'll come back in a bit to wrap it all up. But here's my recent conversation with Shelby Lore. Shelby, first of all, tell me a little bit about growing up in Olive Hill and where music came into being for you.
So I went to school in Olive Hill, and I'm from Carter City. Carter City's right in between Grayson and Olive Hill. Went to school in Olive Hill, so I spent a lot of time there. My family plays. I'm from a very musical family, and I tell this story a lot. But whenever I was a kid, I went to this guy's house, this other kid's house, and he was the first kid that I kind of met outside of my family and just the people that I grew up around. And I go to his house, and he's got the new consoles, and he's got an in-ground pool and all this stuff, but he didn't have a guitar in his house. And I called my mom to come pick me up because I thought that was weird. and so I grew up around it, man. And then also being from Olive Hill, Tom T. Hall is, I feel like could be celebrated more, but he is celebrated there.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of music in that area. And so you kind of can't escape it.
That's true. When did you... I mean, if you come from a musical family, you probably had an instrument in your hand by the time you were 2 or 3 years old. But when did you figure out, hey, I can really play guitar like this? I'm good at this.
Whenever I was, my brother and I, he's a very gifted musician too, and we both kind of learned at the same time. And he could play. I remember he learned the intro solo to Crazy Train, and he would play it, and I was jealous. And I remember whenever I learned, I was at school one day, and I was playing Knocking on Heaven's Door, and we had this band room and guitar class and stuff, and me and my bass player now, Tyler, he's my lifelong best friend. We've been friends since we were in diapers, and me and him, we'd always go in there and play. And I was playing Knocking on Heaven's Door, and then it all clicked on why certain things on the neck were what they were. Yet again, I called my mom to come pick me up from school because I'd figured something out, and she did. She came and got me. And
Wow.
and you know, it was one of those like, Mom, I don't feel good. And then whenever I got in the car, I was like, I actually, I feel fine, but I learned something. And she was like, don't do this again. But but yeah, so then at that point, I really grasped guitar, and I was like, okay, I think I understand this thing. And
Nice.
then from then on, I would learn different parts, and then I got my first job with a guy named Dustin Burchett, who he still plays, and I played lead guitar for him. And whenever that band started getting some traction, I realized that this is my job for the rest of my life.
There you go. That's good stuff. So you have an album, and you have several singles since that album came out. Tell us a little bit about what it's like trying to build that momentum to, you know, earn a living as a band. I mean, I know it's tough. I know there's a lot of road dogging and whatnot that has to happen, but what's it like to try to, and what's the next domino for you? Is it, I got to get in the studio and record another album. I got to open up for somebody big. I got to get a big gig. What's in your mind as you're trying to kind of build this business for yourself?
You said it right there, Bill. It is a business. It's hard, man. And like from whenever I started, I started. It seems unreal. I'm 33, and I started playing. I've been playing my whole life, but I've been playing music for like professionally, I would say, you know, for a few years. But I've been trying to earn a living for 15 years. And whenever I was they used to sneak me in bars to play for people. And being a guitar player is what I thought my job would be. I didn't know that I'd be writing songs and singing and stuff. But whenever I first started doing that, whenever I said, all right, I'm going to play original music, and I'm going to try to do my own thing. That's only been like 6 years in. And I think that the goal is always, now it's social media. You know, then years ago, it was just go not be good until you are really good and do that in front of people. And it's a lot different now. Now you gotta play the social media game, which is you know, that's got its perks too. I think that's a great thing to have. But the next step for us is we're always looking for the next show. I still think I hold on to that if you're really good live and you put on a live show and you mean it and you play it like you mean it, then that's what's going to pay off more than anything, because, you know, we're in a time where the authenticity, people really want that. So we're always looking to get in front of our audience, find our ears, open up for bigger acts, and that's the goal. That's how we plan on building what we're trying to build.
That's a good plan. And it seems like I was really just introduced to you probably less than a year ago. But it seems like the last 6 to 9 months have been kind of almost of an explosion for you a little bit, at least regionally, because I see you getting gigs, opening for Bill Taylor at a nice theater in Ashland. I saw you guys up in Madison, Indiana. And so you're starting to pop regionally. And so it seems like things are headed in the right direction. Do you think so?
I think so. Yeah. I believe in it. I believe that what's going on is good. With that being said, you mentioned Bill. Without people like Bill is a huge advocate for us, man. Like we played opening for him in Ashland, but that next night we played for him. Me and my band were backing him with members of his band, and he says it like he'll say a guy with a platform like that for music, and he'll say, "Hey, you guys got to listen to Shelby Lore Band." And man, it should be more common for people to do that. I'm not saying for us, but just for in general. Like, sure. You know, around here in Ashland, I host whenever I'm in town. I host this open mic whenever I'm not out playing. And that whole thing is based around building up the next generation, because we can't do it forever. And the next generation has to do it, or we won't have it. And I think that building other musicians up should be the norm in this business. And sometimes it is, sometimes it ain't. But Bill is one of the kindest people I've ever met. And having people like him helps us a lot.
That's awesome. Yeah, I totally agree. Bill's just one of those unique characters. And I guess I've always, so I know, Ashland, it's kind of funny, depending on how far you zero in and zoom in, Ashland is not Huntington, but it's part of Huntington. And I know there's a pretty good Huntington music scene with Kindred Valley and Corduroy Brown and all those guys. Do those two groups mingle much up there?
Dude, Alan, Corduroy Brown, he's like one of my best friends. I called him yesterday. Like, yeah,
Good.
Oh yeah, we're all buds.
Okay.
We're playing with him too. I love Alan, man. He's, I say this more than once a week, but like Corduroy Brown says, we're all just doing our best,
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah,
cool, man.
It's West Virginia and Ashland, or West Virginia and Kentucky, but yeah, it's pretty close. It's tight knit.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. How about that Shelby Lore, y'all? Great guy, great guitarist. Love his songs and his sound. You can find him online at shelbyloremusic.com. He's also Shelby Lore Music on all the socials as well. We'll make sure there are links to all those places in our show notes for this episode at rootsmusicrambler.com. And if you're ever looking for an episode you've seen or you remember somebody said something cool and you wanted to go find it again, we have a little shortcut to getting to the episode you want to hear. We have a short URL. It's rootsmusic.link. And so if you do rootsmusic.link / and the name of the person or band, you're going to get to that episode. So for this particular episode for Shelby Lore, it will be rootsmusic.link / Shelby Lore. If you wanted to find our episode with Nathan Evans Fox, you would do rootsmusic.link / Nathan Evans Fox. So there's a shortcut way to get to the episode you want. It gets a little confusing if you have a guest that's been on twice, but we've only had one of those so far, Britt Taylor. And so we have / Britt Taylor, and then we have / Britt Taylor 2, the number 2. So little shortcut key there for you if you ever need to know. Just another way to make it easier for you to find this great content, the interviews, conversations with these artists that we love having here on Roots Music Rambler. We'll have another full episode coming up in another week, I believe. So Frank will be back with me for a chat, a new interview, some picking the grinning recommendations, and more. But thanks for tuning in to this episode of Roots Music Rambler Backstage, even though it wasn't really backstage, with Shelby Lore. Roots Music Rambler is a production of Falls & Partners, copyright 2026. Our theme music is Sheepskin of Beeswax by Gentacorum. Join us online at rootsmusicrambler.com and make sure you mash that subscribe or follow button so you remember to join us for the next hoedown and throwdown. For Frank, I'm Falls. Whatever you do, kids, ramble on.